Hello all, Jeff here with a new video. Welcome to round 5 of the Supercars Supercars Cup Series, this race being at Rio. We actually done round 6 as well, but you will see a video for that in the next couple of days. Anyway, here is round 5, so we'll check out the grid. So on row 1 we have in P1 FRCA Rod, and in second place is myself. On the second row of the grid, we have Forza Fizz NZ in position 3, and in P4 we have HCCR Dopiest. In the third row of the grid, in 5th place we have Lil Skeeter Boss, and in 6th position Levi Tate. And finally, on the 4th row of the grid, we have Max Power 1974 in P7 and FRCA Kenny in P8. So yeah, I mean Rio, it's a bit it's a very hard circuit, very bumpy, and with these cars, very difficult. Now, hardly anyone signed up for round 5, so there was no race at Yas Marina, unfortunately. So Rio ended up being the race where collisions were turned off, and yeah, this was a race where you would get all the chockies if you were in the top 3. As I brake a little late compared to Rod, and another thing, because the organisers knew how bad this circuit is, no pit stops for this one. Anyway, Forza Fizz tries to make the move around the outside on me, doesn't work, but we go up to this uphill section and into the tunnel. So it's Rod in front, and then it's myself, and then Forza Fizz in 3rd place, Dopiest in 4th. As we're about to go out of the tunnel, let's have a look at the pack. Here we go. So Dopiest, oh hello, Kenny's smoking him up, and Lil Skeeter Boss, I think he just lost a bit of ground on Dopiest there. But yeah, you just don't know what's going to happen. Forza Fizz takes a while. Actually, Lil Skeeter Boss is riding the wall like he's playing Horizon. He's got Kenny right on his tail. Anyway, Dopiest right up behind Forza Fizz. He's going to try and make a move on him here. It's on for young and old here, but yeah, you just never know what's going to happen. As you can see, but it's Dopiest has actually made the move stick. He's now in P3. Forza Fizz in 4th position. Rod trying to hold the lead. I'm right up behind him though, as we go into this really tight section here. So with the new track limits, you can't use all of that road on the left anymore. As I brake a bit earlier, he brakes late, and the cutback, and I'm in the lead. So yeah, we'll just see what happens with the rest of the race. But as you can see, Rod is still right up on my tail here, and this corner, just a slight brush of the tyre wall and your race is done. Anyway, as you can see, it's on for young and old. You know, Dopiest is getting right up behind Rod now. Forza Fizz close company. There's a fair few people lining the streets of Rio actually. You don't really notice that until you look at the replays. Oh, Forza Fizz with the massive corner cut gets the move done on Dopiest. That was a bit questionable, as Lil Skeeter Boss tries to make the move on Kenny. Anyway, it's going to be a good little battle here for 3rd place, as we see all these cars driving along the Rio coastline, looking really cool. But yeah, battle for 3rd right now. It's probably the best battle at the moment. Oh, Dopiest just smacks the wall. Doesn't really hurt him that much. He's still right up behind Forza Fizz. Kenny with close company. As we go back to myself, I've gained a little bit of a lead, so yeah, the whole idea for me at this stage is just to keep things straight. Anyway, we get there, and Max tries to get the move done on Lil Skeeter Boss, but just brakes way too late. And yeah, that was a battle for 6th place, believe it or not. As we skip to lap 3, so we're on board with Kenny here. It's a fair bit going on, so I think that's Max in front. He's locked them. Oh, he's given, no, that's Forza Fizz. Kenny has given Forza Fizz a tap, but he just backs off. Fair enough. You make a mistake, you let him stay in front. A good old school wow sight and sound livery. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Well done, Kenny. Good livery, if you've created it. But as you can see, he's going to try and grab this position from Forza Fizz. I think this is P4, P5 right now. Forza Fizz getting a little bit slidey. Is Kenny going to think about making the move? Or not quite? Not quite. Nearly hits him again. Gets a little slidey. This section is really, really tricky. Because of all these tram tracks, it just makes the car, it just unseals the car all the time. Anyway, the battle for second place is between Rod and Dopiest. There's Forza Fizz, there's Kenny. So these two are gonna have a bit of a ding-dong battle here. And they're just gonna slow each other down, because as you can see, I've bolted, let's be honest. I have bolted while Rod and Dopiest are battling. You can't even see me there. So, yeah, this is where all the action is. For the minor placings on the podium. Oh, looks like Dopiest got a much better run out of that corner compared to Rod. As we go in that really tight chicane. It's very tight now of the track limits. Before you could just go straight over those curves. Pretty good 2 seconds faster with the old track limits. Anyway, Dopiest is going to think about making the move on Rod. It may take a while, but we go back on board with Kenny because something happens to Forza Fizz here. For some reason he thinks about pitting and he smashes into the tyre wall. No pitting required in this race, however, he mustn't have got the memo. And as you'll hear, he actually slows down to get into the pits. He's slowing down, bang! That's his race done pretty much. And he didn't even have to pit. Oh, that's just bad luck for him. Anyway, Kenny, Lil Skeeter Boss are having a bit of a battle here after that whole fiasco with Forza Fizz. And Max with close company. But we go back to this battle between Rod and Dopiest. Because, yeah, these two very good drivers, especially Dopiest, since he, at this stage, is the only one that's bet me in the Cup Series. So, a very high caliber of driver, as well as Rod. I've raced him in Forza RC. He's alright as well. Anyway, as we go uphill, cross the Redeemer in the background. He's seeing all the action here. He just wants a good, clean race, even though Rio's not the best place for that. But Dopiest is right up behind Rod now. So, for those wondering, it is lap 4. As we go into this really, really long left-hander. Anyway, on board with Max, because he is right up behind Lil Skeeter Boss. It's going to be, yeah, a three-way battle here for 4th. Kenny, Lil Skeeter Boss, and Max. Yeah, and unfortunately, you may be thinking, where's Levi Tate? Well, he disconnected, sadly, so bad luck for him. But anyway, we go to this really fast section. As I said, it's so easy to get it wrong. As, you know, it's end of lap 5. Look at the gap I've got. Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, yeah. I did a bit of practice at Rio, but I thought we were going to do Rio National, as that's what was listed on the Supercars E-Series website. Then we found out that we were using the full circuit. Anyway, battle here between Rod and Dopiest is hotting up. So here we go. Dopiest, oh, he just taps the wall. That could have ended in disaster for him, but still in 3rd place. That could have been a lot worse. It means Rod is pulling away from him. It's the start of lap 6. There's a battle here between Lil Skeeter Boss and Max Power. So this, now I had a look at this battle, and this, you know, look at this. Max is right up behind Lil Skeeter Boss now, as he's driving through walls as you do. Anyway, it could be on here. You just never know. You may be wondering what's going on with Forza Fizz. Well, he's dead last. The poor bloke didn't know he didn't have to pit. But that's what happens sometimes. You make mistakes, you live and learn. Anyway, back to this little battle between Kenny, Lil Skeeter Boss, and Max Power. So, Lil Skeeter Boss has tapped the wall on the inside, and that's going to give Max a chance to get by him, and he does. That's P5 for him. So, yeah, just the smallest of mistakes and Max is through. However, Lil Skeeter Boss is right behind. He gives Max a little tap, but he stays behind him. That's fine. Anyway, this is a good little battle that's brewing here. And does Skeeter Boss think about making a move? No, not here. Not here. Max has got a little bit slidey. They touch. But, oh, Max gets even more slidey, but he keeps the position. However, like what I did with Rod, little Skeeter Boss has got the cut back, and he's got P5 back from max power. So it's a really good battle going on here. So, oh, and it looks like Max just lost his momentum at the chicane as a result. Anyway, this was the same lap. So Rod gets a bit slidey. Dopius, he's really catching up to Rod here. Is he going to think about making the move? He's going to think about it. This is not a particularly good passing spot, but he's actually made the move stick. Wow. Oh, he gets a little bit slidey. That's going to get Rod back into it because there's a bit of camber on this corner. But Dopius gets the move done. He's in P2. But then we go into the tight left, the tight right. He's hit the wall, and that's going to give Rod a chance to get position 2. He's got it. Whoa. Dopius had that move stick, but Rod is back in P2. Dopius breaks a lot deeper than Rod there as we go into the tight chicane. Now what's going to happen here? Dopius goes a little wide, but it's still on here. Trust me, it is still on as we go into this really tight hairpin we're about to get to. So here we go. Rod in second, Dopius in third. Dopius tries to use as much track as possible. However, he's tapped the wall and he's spun. Any chances of gaining second? Well, they're gone, unfortunately. He can still hold on to third. While that's going on, we have a battle for fifth. So we got Lil Skeeter Boss in front, Max Power in sixth position as we're going to complete lap 6 and start lap 7. We go into turn 1. Lil Skeeter Boss has gone in way too hot, brushes the wall, in fact brushes it way too much and it slows him down a mile. And that's gifted Max 5th position. As we go back to myself in the last lap of the race, because not much else happened, unfortunately. But, yeah, a very convincing win from myself. But, I thought I was going to get a good clean lap. Just slightly cut the corner, so I just, I backed off the throttle slightly because I don't like, getting an unfair advantage. Although that was just a complete honest mistake. But doesn't really matter. It's going to be a very convincing win. I actually nearly did a Dopius there. It probably wouldn't have affected me if I actually did flip the wall as I get to the pit entry, but doesn't matter. That's the win. And the results, well, nothing else happened. So in second place, it was Rod, a well-deserved podium for him. And it was Dopius in third place. And then for the minor spots, it was Kenny, Max Power, Lil Skeeter Boss, and Figel Fizz, who unfortunately pitted when he didn't need to. And Levi Tate unfortunately got disconnected, which is a shame. And there's the podium, myself, Rod, and Dopius. So yeah, there you have it. Be sure to check out round 6 of the Supercars Cup Series coming in the next couple of days. It will be in 2 parts because there were 3 races with collisions on, and all of us were in the same lobby. So yep, be sure to check that one out. Anyway, if you like the video, smash the thumbs up button, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and if you want to see more, subscribe and tap the notification icon. Anyway, this is Jeff here, and happy racing. Cheers.